Hi everyone, I'm Megan Sullivan and welcome to this demo impressions video for Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, a Musou game set in the Zelda universe. This actually isn't the first Hyrule Warriors game, but it does tie directly into The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which makes it a prequel of sorts, and so far, it's pretty darn entertaining. I won't say too much about the story because A, I don't want to spoil it, and B, we only get a small taste of what the story is actually about in the demo, but I will say I'm happy that it promises to fill in some of the blanks about how the Divine Beast pilots joined the resistance against Calamity Ganon and how things ended up the way they did before Link goes on his merry adventures in Breath of the Wild. Now, as I mentioned, this game is based on the Dynasty Warriors series, aka the Musou series. The last Musou game I played was Fire Emblem Warriors, and I really enjoyed that game, so much so that I gave it an 8 out of 10 on IGN. And I'm happy to report that Hyrule Warriors is also shaping up to be pretty great, although I did notice some janky frame rates and the game's camera seems a bit overeager at times, even when I try to slow it down. Outside of that, the gameplay is fun, the art style is beautiful, I love the music, and best of all, I get to play some of my favorite characters in Breath of the Wild, in this specific case, Link, Impa, and Zelda. Hyrule Warriors is pretty clever with the way it handles these characters too. They each have their own weapon, their own attacks, and their own special abilities. Link, of course, wields a sword, can paraglide, throw bombs, and rains down arrows, while Impa teleports around the battlefield and can ride a huge block of ice because why not? While Zelda uses her tablet to set remote bombs and fling icicles. I appreciate the variety, but I also appreciate the game's dedication to strategy, frustrating though it was at times. I mean, sure, button mashing against a mob of moblins is pretty darn great, but have you ever quickly swapped characters and ran to different parts of a map in order to outsmart a laser-pointing guardian? Because it's actually a little more challenging than you'd think, which is actually promising because it proves this game isn't just all mindless hack and slash. The game mechanics continue to be thoughtful off the battlefield too. You can use gathered materials to help citizens around the world map, who will then turn around and sell you ingredients you can use for consumable dishes that will up your stats, yes, just like in Breath of the Wild, or will let you merge weapons together to create stronger weapons with better abilities. It all feels familiar, but also kind of fresh and interesting. The demo cuts out before you can play as one of the 4 Divine Beast pilots, but even with that said, this was a pretty meaty demo. My game clock says I was at it for over an hour and a half, which was more than enough time to conclude that although the game won't always be a cakewalk, it is far from a calamity. In fact, I'd say it's a breath of, well, fairly fresh Hyrule air. What did you think of this demo? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you later.